Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the November meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. This month, we have a great sponsor, Carolyn McLean, who has some beautiful candles. These are the same ones from last month because she's not here this month, but we're going to move right along. Carolyn, sorry about that, but they've all heard it. Sponsor meeting, if you want to sponsor, more than love to have you, and I'm working on getting some new sponsors. And this is all the benefits of the sponsorship program. Oh, and it is working. Live video's up. Okay, today's agenda. A little bit of user group business, timely tech topics, some really good tech topics this month. A question and answer period, a short one. Then we're going to go into the main topic for today: reuse, recycle, refurbish. Buying used or new and disposing of old tech. This is new and it's big. This is our YouTube channel. It used to be one of tips and favorites. It is now a playlist for artificial intelligence, the Macintosh, the iPhone, iPad, Windows, Android, and OS 26. All in separate playlists. As I find stuff, I throw them in the playlist. I send out how you get to it in the group chat. And so there's enough up there to keep you binging for probably a week. This makes joining the group worthwhile. You get free telephonic and Zoom share screen support from both Barry and myself. The group chat, that's support. And if we need to come out to your home to fix a problem, which is very rare, you can get that for only $35 an hour. Coming up next month, you asked for it, you're going to get it. We start our 3-part AI series, and we're going to be dealing with, the first one is Microsoft Copilot. Okay, January, we are going to have part 2. What can we trust? Diving down the AI rabbit hole. That's going to be a really interesting meeting because it's getting worse and worse every day. Google has their Google AI Lab, which is filled with all kinds of incredible tools for making photorealistic photos, videos, all for free. And then in February, we are going to have getting the most out of AI assistance, prompt engineering. What do you enter to get what you want? That is the secret to using the AI generators today. And then in March, we will be meeting on Pi Day. Everybody has to bring in a pie that day. That is going to be my presentation on how the internet works. I'm going to take you down the deep, dark rabbit hole, just about everything associated. I'm going to explain IP addresses, IPv6, web servers, email clients, web clients, how it works, how security works, I hope. Very step-by-step, very low level or high level. Design, not the computer scientist. Exact opposite. We've got a lot this month. First thing that came up, and this was a revelation and very disturbing at the same time. The Chinese introduced a highly skilled robot. Now, an android is a robot in human form. This was definitely not a human, but it had 2 legs, 2 arms, a chest, a head. It was humanoid. Very close. If they could put skin on it, it would be a person. It would look like a person. It has very limited mental skills right now. Its primary is its mobility. It can dance very well without any human intervention. There is no one at a console controlling him. He is self-generated completely. It was exciting to watch, but really disturbing as to how far they've advanced. As I find out more about this, I'll let you know. OpenAI, ChatGPT, has introduced their own web browser based upon the ChatGPT engine. Apple Computer has been skyrocketing this past month, up almost 20 points for the month. The reason behind it is their quarterly earnings, which everyone projected would be down, were in fact up. Microsoft was up.
It was a record-breaking quarter.
Yep.
The highest final quarter in Apple's history.
Analysts are raising the price targets based upon demand for okay. What the analysts are doing is saying the top end, it was projected to be $275. They blew that apart this month. They're now saying $300. Interestingly, at $300, for many years, that's a breaking point where they've split the stock, which I'm hoping for. Microsoft, a lot happened this month. Last month, we had nothing. This month, Microsoft is investing in hardware, thermal management, and infrastructure. That they are now becoming more and more engrossed in hardware. Where they used to be nothing but software, they are now going the direction of Apple doing hardware. What Microsoft, and we talked about this last month, is upgrading PCs is stronger. They want you to move to the new PCs to use Windows 11. They're forcing you into that. A new scam out about digital wallets that I just read this morning. What they're doing is they'll come around and try and get you to use your digital wallet. Now, they're not capturing the information, they're making phony transactions from it, hoping that people won't notice what they're doing. The one that they illustrate is some guy comes to your door to sell chocolate for Boys and Girls Club, whatever, and he'll only accept tap to pay. When he does that, the tap to pay, he'll put in a different amount, like $1,000, $700, and hoping you won't notice the transaction. Now, I don't know about the Android wallet. I do know about the Apple wallet records those transactions immediately so you can see them. If anyone will only accept tap to pay and you do not know them as the vendor, don't do it because it's becoming more and more of a scam. From the article I read, they say it's more of an issue with Android phones for some reason, but both are susceptible because they're not scamming your number, they're scamming the amount. Okay, so
But they do have to be very, yes, yeah, do have to be very, very close.
but one of the things, apparently the Android authentication is different because on the iPhone, you have to authenticate before you can use your digital wallet. It's got to know it's you, either the passcode, thumbprint, face. So one of the other ones doing it is coming in and getting close enough to trigger a transaction without you knowing about it. Well, on the iPhone, you can't do that. Google, who's becoming the third, Apple, Microsoft, and Google, and very close behind is Amazon, but they're a retail. They are really pushing AI like I've never seen. You'll be seeing AI generated everything, and so far out of Google, it's all free. Global chip sales are surging. The semiconductor industry now is going berserk right now. The demand for chips is way up. Expect more investment in chip manufacturing. It's getting, with AI, the high demand on technology, it's really starting to show in the industry. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is in Arizona. They're opening a plant. Where is a good question. I could not find out where.
With a $165 billion lab extension. That's supposed to be lab, not that.
We're unfortunately not going to be able to do the very high-end fabs that they're doing in Taiwan. I know that Apple is committed to buying from the Arizona plant for their older chips that they're using in older phones and older.
Well, Apple is allegedly going to open up a plant in Texas to do the higher end chips.
A new plant.
Oh,
Brand new.
So did you finish with that last page?
Which one? This one?
Yeah. Why is chip manufacturing at an all?
Is it man?
man.
It's a huge demand for chips.
AI.
Global.
Global.
Why does AI cause a need for
They need chips to run the servers to do all the computations. And these are very high-end.
Yeah, very processor intensive.
We're talking about trillions of transistors required. And some of these chips have more than 1 million transistors equivalent on it.
That's one reason why NVIDIA got the highest market cap of any company in the world now, because they're the ones creating the chips that they want for these AI servers are graphic processing units, not CPU. So, and NVIDIA is at the top end of the GPU.
And their stock has gone skyrocketing. I wish I would have bought NVIDIA.
Many chips for many servers,
What is
which is using many electricity.
no? And all of that equals energy use.
Oh, yes.
And cloud.
And water.
Where does AI exist? Isn't that cloud?
Yeah, the servers are cloud computers.
But AI and the cloud are two separate things.
But Ron seems that okay. If AI has to exist in the cloud.
No, it doesn't have to exist in the cloud. You could have a computer system right here in this room that could be AI based, depending upon what you're doing. Like if I were working on, say, SpaceX, and all the data I had was right here in this room, I wouldn't have to go to the cloud. But if I do a Google search, a ChatGPT search, I just let, the only way I can get that information is to go out in the cloud. And what it does is, right now, imagine you have assistants. You have billions of assistants who do nothing but go out and get information and bring it back to you. That's what the AI generator is doing. They're constantly canvassing everything.
Okay, so the point I was getting to and wondering about was the energy that expanded AI requires. And because that's heat also, right?
Oh, yeah.
That requires cooling.
Yes, absolutely.
So heat and cooling and
Electrical work generation.
space,
Yeah.
whether it's cloud or not.
Yeah.
The energy piece is what I was wondering, because you said money's in the chip. Well, it also sounds like there's a serious jack up in the energy use. And what kind of energy is that?
Right now, it's conventional. They are trying desperately to move towards nuclear. That would solve a lot of the problems. And that's why the recent changes allowing nuclear plants to be built a lot quicker, a lot more with incredible safety measures. Because within 10 years, we may run out of the ability to produce enough energy. Now, there's things going on like solar panels. Solar panels are extremely inefficient. However, two scientists in Great Britain has found a way of changing that by using, oh, Barry, help me. You remember that article?
Remember you seeing that?
They found a way of making it more efficient by using almost passive.
Something to do with capturing ultraviolet wave band. And in fact, they showed, I think one of the examples they showed it, just, you can put a sheet on your window and the sun coming through the window, and it's transparent. So it's letting light in, but it's also generating electricity as it does that. Something in the serial with the lawyers.
What I'm seeing
Is a fine mesh copper screen.
But does it have a cable or something?
Yes. Yeah, it has little wires coming out of it. They go to charge, far more efficient. How soon will we be seeing it? We don't know.
I bring this up because technology's changing, and we, according to what you're saying, we're not prepared
No, not at all.
for that impact of how it's going to hit us, as well as in order to create chips, it's more mining, right?
Yes.
Aren't chips coming from
Rare earth.
materials
Yes.
that we're unprepared
But-
for as well?
But we also found a way of recycling rare earth, which is brand new. We've never been able to do that before. I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I can just report what I do find. One of the things that's happening is that because of the production can't keep up with demand, it's taking longer and longer for these projects to come in. That's one of the reasons Elon Musk and SpaceX started building his own plants, because he couldn't get the parts he needed to launch the missiles. It's interesting. What else we got? Trade deal with U.S. and China. This is going to be help. One of the problems we have right now is most of the AI geniuses are not in the United States. They're in China and India. And that's why they have got such a lead on the creation of this stuff. We're trying to negotiate that. The export supply chains are becoming very critical. Okay, tips of the month. Any questions about Tommy Tech Topics? And a lot happened this past month.
A question going back to the first one, actually, because I had to check out here, but the robot, was that the same one that Joanna Stern reviewed for the New York Times, where she had it in her home for 24 hours? Because that one is very clumsy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, see, most of the robots that are out there, human factor robots, actually have a human controlling them. This one was the first one that has been demonstrated that is self-sufficient. It can move and react to other people by itself with no man behind the curtain. They showed it in China on stage. It did it as basically a soft shoe.
So kind of like it has sonar.
Gyroscope.
Usually to recognize that. I say sonar because I was thinking of
It has light up. Yeah, sensors, your sensors.
Sensors of some type. It sensed people and knew people who were standing next to it. It did not converse. It could not talk. This is a biggie. Something that a lot of people don't understand, both for Android and for iPhone, though not all will work on the Android because I haven't tested it, is your C port. The USB-C does a lot more than charge your phone. You can hook up stuff to it. One of the big things on the iPhone 15 and beyond is that you can hook up a hard disk drive to it and save stuff to it. Now, this is important when you're using your iPhone as a movie camera, because some file formats, specifically ProRes, take up lots and lots and lots of space, more than you could put on the phone. So I can hook up a 10 terabyte drive, record directly to it through the USB-C port. You can put keyboards on your, in fact, this is for the iPad and iPhone. You can put a USB-C keyboard into it easily. You can hook up additional screens. If you have a screen that has a USB-C port on it, you can just plug your phone into that, and I've done this, and you have a big display. Joysticks. What I'm doing today is I'm using my phone to record his audio through that microphone and I'm powering it through my computer, all because of USB-C. I could not do that without it. And interestingly, and Barry and I found this out, is that we were wondering, how do we switch to this microphone? As it turns out, did it automatically. Okay, that's the first one.
Quick question, Cheryl. I got an old phone, Lightning, so it wouldn't do the display. I would require a phone that at least is at a C.
And iOS 26, eating iOS 26, the new operating system. Okay,
An iPhone 11.
this is for Mac users specifically. It's alternatives to minimizing your window. If you go and what happens on the Mac is when you minimize the window, it goes down to the dock over on the left-hand side, right-hand side. So if you have a bunch of windows, you get a bunch of icons down there. You can go into settings and change settings to minimize windows into application icon. So what happens is when you minimize a window, you go to the application icon, like page, that it puts it up there. So you have all those icons rather than on the left on there. Another way to minimize is to hide windows. And what that does is takes the application, all of its windows, and hides it. And the only way you get it back is by clicking on the icon. And this is another trick people can use, is just quit the application. Because when you restart it, it comes back in with all the windows open that were there before. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how this works. I'm going to go to settings and go into desktop and dock, and I'm going to minimize windows into application icon. I'm going to turn that off. Right now, I don't have any windows open, and I'm going to go into pages and I'm going to open the November meeting. I'm going to minimize it, and it's put, okay, well, this is what happens when you minimize into the application icon. All of your windows, recent windows, are there, and the one that's open. That's where it is. That's how it works. Hiding, just come up here and you say, hide pages, or I can hide others. Hide pages. Pages just disappears off the screen. Now, I do have Stage Manager turned on so that a lot of the windows, Stage Manager handles that automatically. So let's move on. We're right here.
Stage Manager is a newer iOS.
Yes, feature.
It's about 2 operating systems old.
Okay, I got one more tip for everybody, and because I just thought about this, it's a new feature in iOS 26 that is worth getting a phone to support it just for these 2 features. Let's say we all know about silence incoming calls. So if you don't know them, it doesn't register at all. Well, there's a third option now that says unknown callers find out what they want. And what happens is Siri comes on and says, who do you want to talk to and what is the nature of your business? And if they
It works cool. It's great.
Yes.
I've had it happen too.
Yes. But even better, how often have you been put on hold for hours just waiting? Well, with iOS 26 on the iPhone, it senses you are on hold, takes over, and when someone comes on, it notifies them that they are contacting you. Please wait. It puts them on hold. Have you tried that one yet?
It's happened to me, but it didn't quite work because whoever then picked up the phone after I was on hold for a while, when they got whatever message that Siri or the service told them, they just hung up.
That didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
But those 2 features, I love them.
Yeah.
It is great. Now, the other feature that I love a lot is record call feature.
Yeah, I've done that too. That's great.
You turn on record call and a voice comes up and says, this call is being recorded. 9 times out of 10, the person you're going to be recording doesn't hear it. That's not my fault. It will record. It records the call, gives you a transcript of that, and places it in your notes.
I do that every time I call any kind of customer service now.
Same
Because,
here.
you always get the message on their end. This call may be recorded for quality or training purposes. And so, well, okay. And I tell them, I'm going to record this call so I have a transcript and don't have to write notes.
Okay, before we take the break, we are going to have a special presentation on Share a Favorite from Barry.
Some years ago now, I shared a related favorite when we were still meeting over at the foothills before the pandemic. I don't know if how many were there remember, but I had a mug from Ember that had a heater in it to keep your drink warm, and had a little tray you sat it on to charge it, has built-in battery and so forth. You could program this temperature. Well, when I retired from the city of Sierra Vista, I got a retirement gift. I chose the travel mug version of the Ember mug and got a built-in heater and battery. It's got a little rechargeable tray, just like the other thing does, some contacts on the bottom. And the other thing about it is that it is Apple Find My compatible, which means like if you have a device from Apple or you have an air, you've heard of Apple AirTags where you can put your little tag in your luggage or in your purse and then you leave it somewhere. Well, this thing has this built-in right to the mug itself. So once it's connected to your Apple account through the Ember app on your device, then if you're someplace traveling and you have it with you and you leave it in the restaurant or you leave it in the bathroom or the rest area, you'll get a notification. Hey, you left your mug behind. It was a retirement gift. So for me, it was, but there's a couple hundred. Yeah, it's a couple $100 actually. Retail, full retail price. That's why I was, I wasn't going to buy it for myself, but when I retired, say, well, you can get a retirement gift up to $200 in value. That's what I qualified for based on how many years I'd worked. Anyway, so that's what I told my boss. Hey, this is what I want, and it's on sale. You can get it for less than $200, even with the tax.
Okay, do we have any, before we take a break, do we have any questions, comments, answers? Okay, we'll take her first and you.
How do you get that seriously to engage when the you turn on?
Okay.
It's actually, the category is called Screen Unknown Caller. Choice is never, ask reason for calling, or silence. Silence has been available
It's available online.
for some time, but the ask reason for calling is a new one. That's when, when they call you. And so if it's an unknown number, then it meant in other words, if the phone number that the call is coming from is not in your contact, you don't know who it is, then it'll do that behavior. It'll answer the phone, but your phone won't ring. You won't hear it. You won't know until the person tells the automation who they are and why they're calling. And then you'll get a message and then you can choose to answer it.
Okay, that's going to be my question. Okay, and I definitely don't see it on mine. I see it as silence, but it's 26.
This is OS 26. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? With that, let's take a break now for our formal presentation. Reuse, recycle, and refurbish. Now, before you think that I'm an artist or that Barry actually produced this background was produced by ChatGPT. I gave it the parameters, the prompt, and it came up with this. That pretty much is what I wanted. So it did a lot better job than I did. Okay, let's talk about electronic waste. E-waste refers to discarded electronic devices and components, including computers, laptops, phones, TVs, printers, and other gadgets that are no longer wanted or have reached the end of their useful life. Pretty much like me. What do we do with them? This is always a major topic of discussion. We don't want them to go in the landfill. Let's talk about that. Here are examples. We pretty much know what they are. Obsolete printers. Yep. I've got 2 of them at the house. Unused cables. I have hundreds. Now, what is good about the cables?
Copper.
Yes, copper is valuable and they can be reclaimed. Outdated laptops. What are they good for? Rare earth. Now, something possibly, yes. Now, something I was not aware of until very recently, that the major thing rare earth is used for are magnets. And magnets is what makes the world go around right now. Without magnets, we would have almost nothing. No electricity, no electric cars. And that is what the major source of rare earth is to produce magnets. We need to talk about data security. Discarded electronics can still store personal information if not properly wiped. If you get rid of a drive, make sure that you wipe it. If you want to save the drive and let somebody else use it, then you have to go in and wipe the drive clean. And that you're best off by reformatting it 4 times.
I have 2 Mac laptops
Yep.
that I can't get a screen on. So either the batteries are blown or they're one of them I can't get a screener because we would both swear that it is the same entry security password, but we can't figure out what the password is. And it's only been ours. Both of them have only been ours. The one I was able to get a desktop on, I have them both plugged in for 4 weeks now. One was pinging up like, hello, I'm back, and going away like it dies and comes back, and it stopped doing that, by the way. And then
That's a bad battery.
yeah. And then the other one is this password
on the password, boot it up and hold down the Command and R key. That will take you into the recovery mode. And on the older ones, it will let you change the password.
That's for Intel. That
Okay, can I make it passwordless? Good, because I just want to clear it. Are you just saying a
Yes, it is space bar.
space bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the letter A, just one single letter. Okay, make sure
and once you've got it one,
if you do not want to save the information, but you want to make the drive unusable, take a hammer, crush the platter. The discs have a disc, metal disc about this big. Just take a hammer and smash it.
I go outside. Do
I don't, when you say that,
it. Face side the drive.
Here's the drive. Take a hammer and smack it.
to open the computer to get.
Well, on the computer, that's a different issue.
So I've got these two computers and I don't want to mess. I just want to be Earth.
Are they apples?
They're worth apples.
Is there any information on it that is critical?
You're not trying to get information.
Not trying to get information.
Sure. Take them up to Apple in Tucson and they'll recycle. Absolutely. Yes.
That's how that.
We're getting to that.
Bottom line, because we can't, right? We can't. There's not an old Apple. If you can't do the operating system, it's good for a monitor.
Yeah.
Right. That's about.
We're going to get to that. Okay. Environmental impact. E-waste contains materials like lead, mercury, cadmium that can harm soil and water. So don't go burying your electronic stuff in the backyard. No, I know people who've done it. Recycling can recover valuable metals like copper, silver, and gold, and copper. I didn't say copper. Reducing the need for new mining. That is becoming big now. Environmental impact. The benefits reduces landfill, conserves natural resources, minimizes pollution. So it's a good idea to recycle these things. Okay, here's places that you can recycle. Goodwill of Southern Arizona. Our Goodwill sometimes will and sometimes won't take computers. The ones up in Tucson always will. Best Buy will take free electronic recycling for many devices. You may want to take your computers to Best Buy here in town. There is Recycle Right e-waste.
Some going back to Best Buy, there are some items that they do have to charge for, like it's a television, old television, old TVs. You have to pay it. It's like pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
There's also a place in Tucson called Suburban Miners, and they will recycle.
I don't think I've got them, but that's good to note.
Yeah, we found a site that's listed in the Sierra Vista area.
Recycle White is over by Walmart in that plaza. Sierra Vista Department of Public Works will take a lot of free electronics. Shred Nations on Fry Boulevard.
I think I have a caveat for it. May have to be part of the
Employee.
the city's trash pickup program. May have to be. Mike born for it to be free.
Yeah. I could find nothing one way or the other.
Rage Quit Games on Fry Boulevard offers limited electronics recycling. If you ever need a phone fixed, You Break I Fix. The guy's amazing. He really is. Amazing job. They do recycle. They do almost all the warranty work for AT&T and Verizon. Echo ATM on 90 does electronics recycling, metal recycling. Very cost effective. Get on Best Buy's mailing list. They are constantly having refurbs available. They had a brand new Mac Mini, the new one, the M4, at 50% off. By the time I got down there, it was gone. And I swear, as soon as I got the message, I got in the car and drove down. Most refurbished items are tested and certified. If you do buy refurbished, make sure that the people doing the refurbishing are certified. Do it. Apple has the certification program. Intel has it. All the major guys have them. Many of them will include limited warranties. Ask about it. You can save yourself quite a bit of money. So rather than paying full price for an iPhone 17, you can find an iPhone 15 or 16 between 75 and 50% off.
And there'll be 17s eventually, probably.
Yeah.
Next year.
And what you do is you go to Horizon and say, do you have any refurbished phones?
Or Apple's Refurbished store. Apple's Refurbished store. They have their own refurbished store. You get a full new product. Look at their store for education, service members, veterans, local and federal.
Thank you for reminding me.
Federal government employees and refurbished.
I just found this out last night. Fiber optic company, Allo, they have, and they don't announce it, a seniors discount. If you're on Social Security benefits, you can get a plan starting at $36 for 100 megabits per second.
Well, I wonder if they'll run fiber to my house.
I don't know. I wish it would. I wish it would. They have a 500 megabit per second. It's about $50. I can't wait that they'll hit our neighborhood finally. As right now, I paid Cox $110 a month for 100 megabits per second.
And that's ALLO.
They're not in Bisbee yet. Your area where you live, God, you move, so I don't know where the duplex is.
We're just 2 miles south of Safeway.
Yeah, that's right.
on the Knoxville Highway.
Yeah.
You may have it now. You need to call them up and ask. Here are some tips for buying refurbished equipment. Buy from a trusted source. Who can we trust? Apple, definitely. Microsoft, definitely. Verizon, AT&T, and who's the other one? T-Mobile, definitely. Best Buy, definitely. Best Buy's warranties, by the way, are probably the best in the industry. Never had a problem on any warranted item.
Like Office Depot or Staples now. Program.
I would just looking up Staples to check and see, because I think they also recycle.
I think they.
I know they do recycle batteries. I think I told you guys last time.
But I know I'm scared, but I couldn't find it.
Okay, I'll look at.
Amazon, maybe. Now, the reason I say this is when you buy from Amazon, you have to check who you're buying from, because they have Amazon and then they have third-party people that sell on the Amazon site. I just had this one. Ordered a extruder motor for my 3D printer. I've been waiting a month to get it. Finally came in and they sent me the wrong motor. So I got a whole Amazon refund and said, hey, so they came back and said, we fully refunded your money. Keep it. We don't want it back. Okay.
Staples accepts a wide range of electronic items as well as ink and toner cartridges, SodaStream, CO2 cylinders, single use, and rechargeable.
Sir, I took advantage of that. When we got a new one, we took a old one back and got some sort of discount. So that's definitely worth it.
And Staples, when I mentioned the batteries thing, if you take 10 batteries at a time, they give you credit, store credit for them. You can't get credit beyond 10 per month. So if so they're clearly giving you some kind of credit whenever you're recycling.
What kind of batteries are these? Like
This is just little. I just dealt with AAA, AA. Oh, just regular batteries.
I'll remember that because I go to batteries like please.
Something else, before you go refurbished, make sure that you've done your research as to what you need to make sure that you are not getting, like this happened to me. I bought a refurbished Apple TV thinking it was the current generation. It wasn't. So now I've got more damn Apple TVs because I didn't pay attention.
another online service that I've used in the past is Zell, like the Amble, Zell.com, trade-ins, old equipment, and sell refurbished.
No, PCs for people. They're online and
Yeah.
I think they have an outlet in Phoenix. It's in metropolitan Phoenix somewhere. They certify refurbished computers and they have a very good reputation for seniors and low-income households. Good friend of mine got one through them, got an iPhone 15 refurbished for $300. By choosing to reuse, recycle, and refurbish, you save money to protect the environment and keep our community cleaner. Question that actually finishes the presentation. But I want you to share something what we have been sharing your experiences. Up until recently, I had a really hard time finding people to take electronics. But now it's becoming more and more because they're able to mine the discarded.
I guess maybe a couple of years back, I bought from overstock.com.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what I got at that point in time.
She's your microphone, Chairman.
Okay. Hi, bro. And what happened was, at that point in time, it was only like maybe about 2 OSs behind the current one. But when they refurbished it, they upgraded it to a more recent, not the latest, but a more recent OS. Okay.
Really?
Okay. So yes, an OS. So I think it was. These Windows 7, then they upgraded it to Windows 8. Okay. But while that was nice because it really wasn't all that old, the point is the hardware was intended for Windows 7. So what happens is over a period of time, when they say, okay, great, you are a current user of the grade A OS, we're going to upgrade you to the next one. After a while, it said, okay, we can't upgrade it anymore. So that's one of the downsides of refurbishing if you can't get like probably the current version hardware. Okay, it's a great holdover, and because of its age, it's obviously really not really cheap, really, affordable, So I haven't done that lately, okay? But that's one of the downsides, after a period of time, there's you stay current with your maintenance. That's wonderful, okay? But after a point in time, they say, well, you don't have the hardware for XYZ feature, so we can't upgrade it anymore. So that's a subtle gotcha. It's not a scam or anything like that. It's just that, well, it's you hit a brick wall. That's all.
Right now, that's happening with Windows. Windows 11 is requiring specific hardware. And if you don't have it, you can't use it. They're discontinuing 10, which is forcing people support for 10. You can still use it for a while, but if you want to go up to 11, you have to have the hardware to support it. And guess why? AI.
I currently have 3 devices that are all coming to fruition, that they're becoming obsolete because of not just AI, because I can't upgrade the operating system.
And how old are they?
One is a 7. My phone is a 7. My
Which is about how
computer is 17.
7 or 8 years old. I don't used.
I don't know. It's older than my computer. Oh, no, I'm not sure. My computer's a 17, and my iPad is a 5th gen. But none of them upgrade anymore.
I know what you're saying, but I just want to point out the longevity and usefulness for a Windows machine. They say about 3 years before you have to upgrade. For Macintoshes, it's normally around 10 years. Now, you can use them. You may not be able to upgrade them for the full 10 years, but Apple tries to keep it at 10 years.
The photos and cameras and things are built in and related. And it's not just camera. It seems like there's more things that don't take it so it can keep going forward. I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
Built-in obsolescence. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one because I don't like the cameras on the 14 are still good. On the 13 are still good.
No, for upgrading. What is causing the problem for upgrading? You said AI. I'm also saying other technologies can't upgrade because they're on an old operating system that can't upgrade. I didn't say that well. But anyway,
Eric, do you agree with that? That devices like the camera, microphones, and the older phones are what's preventing the upgrading because
Upgrade to the operating system.
well, any systems need, like Microsoft. If I use a Microsoft product on there, and I'm not going to be able to give good examples, but there have been things that I go to do video. There we go. Watching something. I can't watch some things on my 5th generation iPad because it says it needs blank. And the same on my phone. And
What's the source
No.
of video?
Try or one of those.
Like a streaming service.
So that's come up. Not on my Mac, my iMac. That has not happened yet on my iMac.
Julie, well, it could be that, like when the streaming service, that the crime video app on the older operating system, can't handle whatever Amazon's feed.
That's what I was saying.
So the app needs to be updated. If the app needs a newer operating system to be.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not a hardware issue. That's a software issue. Yeah. That is in this case, it's Amazon. It did that on purpose.
Okay, so it just goes back again to the built-in obsolescence.
there is a lot of it, yeah.
That's one of the things that they don't want you keeping the old device. They want you. And I was raised by a woman who was all about the environment and conservation, and I'm always trying to make things last as long as they can.
We still have Roman buildings that are still standing, Roman roads that are still standing. They built to last. We build to last for days.
There was another item that if I can think of it, I'll bring it up again. But there was another item that I went in. I was researching something, and they said something about the phone and built-in obsolescence, and not just Apple, phone company or anyone with phone. And it was very discouraging. And it's not one of those things we can control.
Okay. Getting back, is there any dealers that you don't trust?
For Refurbish.
I know, like Jeffrey Stick, like you ever used it, even they don't trust.
Right, exactly.
So I have a certain group that I always check for these kinds of things, and I've gone beyond that.
The only ones I've run across.
Best Buy, like talking about Gazelle, which I haven't used in years now, and Otherworld Computing. I basically,
Oh, OWC is great.
yeah.
Walmart used to do computer repair, and they did not have a good reputation. In fact, they ended it about 2 years after they started it. It was disastrous. I haven't come across anybody in town that I would not recommend, but then again, there's not many that I would recommend because I don't know them. What you have to do is if you need a computer repaired and you don't want to use Best Buy because they are expensive, you don't want to drive up to Tucson. By the way, Simutech in Tucson is a wonderful resource. Simutech, Simutek, Fort Lowell and
Campbell, just off at Campbell's. Yeah.
So it's something bad.
It's Tucson Boulevard, I thought, and
yeah, Fort Lowell and Tucson. Thank you. And if you mention that you are a Sierra Vista User Group member, you get a 10% discount. They specialize in Macintosh, but they are good. They really are.
to purchase used computers as plus repair work. The other, one more was I use my phone is Visible. Visible is a child of Verizon. Yeah, so it's all online though. It's nothing in person. Visible also sells phones, refurbished and that, and I trust them because clearly I
Probably goes through the variety.
right, the whole Verizon child thing. But I've been using that system for 7 years. And as far as a phone company goes, they have a party thing where you start at $35, and if you invite anyone, you're unrelated to whoever you invite as far as your plan goes. They give you $5 a month off and down into $25. So you can get your plan. I got my plan at $25 pretty quick because I referred it to everybody because it is great. It's unlimited use, unlimited data for phone and text. So it's been handy because we can also use it to shift it to hotspot, and the hotspot will run other devices. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, the hotspot will run other devices off of your phone tower. Unlimited.
Unlimited hotspot?
Oh, I don't know about hotspot, but I don't recall. We haven't hit a limit, but their deal is your bill doesn't change. Your bill is what it is. Period. They don't have an international plan, from what I understand, but I haven't really sought out more than we're doing because it has been fabulous for like just the simple things like I described. We're considering using it as our Wi-Fi at home. I mean, our internet, because the phone, we have good phone service at the house, but I do need to check on that hotspot thing first.
Yeah,
That will.
because if you're using your phone as a hotspot for just home internet, you may have a cap there. I know we have a T-Mobile plan, and there's also NVMOs on that network, but
MVMO.
that's the acronym. I don't know that's what Visible is to Verizon.
Okay.
And like, have you heard of Mint Mobile? Seen the advertisements with what's his name? Our actor who started the company and he sold it, but Ryan Reynolds. Anyway, Mint Mobile is to T-Mobile as Visible is to Verizon.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, our plan with T-Mobile has unlimited data, but it has a cap on the hotspot data. Hotspot's limited to 40 gigabytes a month, which is still pretty good, but never have gone over it even when I'm traveling. But yeah, check that. But other thing that you might want to check,
What is the cap on Visible plan for hotspot?
because both Verizon and T-Mobile have home internet hotspot devices that's separate from your phone. It's a little additional on your plan, but Visible may also have a thing like that, because I'm pretty sure Mint Mobile does now too. So you can buy home internet through the phone, and it's a 5G connection, but it's separate. You're not using your actual phone as a hotspot. You have a new device in your home for home internet.
There are no data limits on your hotspot usage, so feel free to stream wherever you are.
Wow, that's great.
Now, I see some advertisements saying that there are no data limits, but what happens is when you get to a certain tier, it slows down the speed. So I'm not quite sure when they say there's no limit. It's like, okay, it's
But I'm not a gamer, so I think gaming might pull something like that kind of difficulty. But I haven't noticed in the years that I've been using it any kind of slow or fast difference. So just
We my wife and I we binge watch like Netflix and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And like the first couple hours are wonderful, and then there's the rest of the time.
but it works for I'm in order for me to check it, if I just binge, I might find that moment in which it slows down and it's buffering. Okay. I've never had my phone doesn't buffer.
Okay, so anybody else have an experience they'd like to share? Somebody that they are fond of, who you can trust.
Well, I'm very very fond of the Apple Refurb store. That's where I bought my latest Mac, my newest Mac. Yeah, my M4 Mac Mini I bought. Apple has a refurbished. If you go to apple.com and then scroll to the very bottom of the home page where they have, some people call it the junk drawer of a website at the very bottom, and they have a bunch of links, and you will see links to other parts of this. And there's a refurb store link there. There's also links to, like, if you're in education, they have educational discounts. If you're a government employee, they have a government employee store discounts. The discounts vary depending on the category. The Apple's refurb store, you're not going to get more than about probably 10% less than buying brand new of the same exact model. But you'll find they give you the same exact warranty as if you're buying new. And some people say it's better to buy from the refurb store because when they get a piece of hardware in that somebody trades it in or they don't want it anymore, and they're going to put it on the refurb store, they completely go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and anything that needs to be replaced is replaced. And it's basically higher quality control on a refurb piece of equipment than coming off the assembly line in China, because everything has got somebody looking at it directly.
Okay, any other questions, comments? We'll give you a question. Next month, we start AI, and that should be really interesting. If you have any questions during the month, put them up on the group chat, and we'll get them answered for you. And it's been actually pretty slow here lately, except for you and me. But when we try and get it as fast as we can. We will be seeing all of you next month. Same bat time, same bat channel.